Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to discuss about playbook in Ansible, how you're going to write a playbook. I will going to show you the steps, and by the end of this video you would be able to write your own playbook. So in this video what I'm going to do is I'm going to configure HTTP server in my all three node. This is my nodes, node 1, node 2 and node 3. These are the three client system where I'm going to configure HTTP from my master server, which is called master01, and the user is Ansible, which I'm going to use to push this configuration. Please ensure you have a sudo rights to push those configuration, because for installing your HTTP package you would need a root rights, or probably you need to use a sudo with root rights, and you need also a passwordless authentication to access this three system. If you are not familiar how to configure passwordless authentication, please watch my two previous video where I have showed how to install Ansible, and also I have showed an adhoc command, how to run adhoc command, and there I have showed how to enable passwordless authentication. Right, so in this video I'm going to configure HTTP server, and to do that, first thing what I need configuration file, an inventory file, and also a playbook. So in this location I currently do not have any files, so let me just create my configuration file first. So the configuration file extension should be .cfg. You can give any name. I have given ansible.cfg, and let me just write the configuration file. Okay, so this is how my configuration file looks like. The component we're going to discuss in my coming videos when we talk about inventory file, where there are two types of inventory file we can use. One is static and another one is dynamic. So let me quickly create a static inventory file and specify my group name. I would say web server, because those are going to be HTTP server. Not 2. Let me create another group which is probably for web dev, I would say, and also the server name I have to specify, it is FTP server. And let me create a children group which is going to be all, and I need to specify my group name here, web dev. Right. Okay, so my inventory file and also my configuration file is created. So the third thing what I'm going to do is, let me just double check which is okay, so ansible.cfg and inventory. The third file which I'm going to do is the playbook. So the playbook, the name can be anything, but extension should be .yml, and also you can use YAML or you can probably use JSON, but I would say better use YAML. Okay, so I think there is one swamp file already. I have to remove that swamp file, rm fnrf dot. Okay, so I think now I would be able to write it. Okay, so this is my playbook is going to be. Let me just create or write the content first, and I will going to discuss them once I have write all the tasks and what I'm going to do in this playbook. Okay. Okay, so this is how my playbook looks like currently, and if I go all over the top, you can see there are 3 this. So you have to start with 3 this when you are writing any playbook. Okay, so after that I'm just giving a name of this playbook. Okay, so what is this playbook is going to do? Okay, so it is nothing but configuring Apache server. So this is what it is saying, and next thing it is going to configure in which host group. Currently I have said all, which is nothing but all the 3 nodes, and you can probably remember I have given the group host the children I have created in the inventory, and I have mentioned all the groups. So it is going to configure all these 3 systems, and remote user, which is I'm going to use, is basically the Ansible user, and also become equal to true is nothing but it is going to do sudo and also becoming a root to do this all tasks. Okay, so now I'm going to start task. The first task is, which is nothing but installing my HTTP package, and state I have given, which is nothing but latest. Latest means the latest available packages in the repository is going to install. You can also specify a specific version if you are looking for, and you have to use the module yum for installation. And the second task, which is nothing but for my http.conf file, I'm using the http.conf file template Jinja2 file because I don't want to use the default configuration file, right? So that is why I am using a default Jinja2 template file, and it is currently downloading from my FTP servers. This is my FTP servers, right? And it is keeping this file under this location, and it is going to be like this, http conf under this location. And the third part, the third task, which is nothing but copying of content. The content is nothing but you're welcome to Ubuntu Linux, and it is writing the content in index.html. okay, so when I access my HTTP servers, it should say welcome to Ubuntu Linux. So this is what this task is doing. And the fourth task, which is nothing but starting my HTTP service and enable equal to true, which is nothing but when my system is reboot, it's come up default, right? So that is why I have said true. And instead of true, you can also say yes here, that is not a problem. And also you probably notice above become equal to true, that also can be used as a yes here. So I just have it of using true, that is why I mentioned true there. Okay, so and one more thing, if you are using firewall, you probably need to write a firewall module as well. So let me just write a task for firewall, but in my system I'm not using firewall. So allow firewall for HTTP. So it is firewall D, the module is firewall D, and service is my HTTP service, and state should be enable, and it should take an immediate effect, immediate equal to yes, and it should be permanent. Equal to yes. And I would say ignore error here. Why? Because I am sure there in this 3 system I don't think firewall is installed already. Let me just check. If it is not there, then I have to install systemctl status. Okay, so firewall is not installed in my first node. Right, so all these 3 systems I do not have firewall installed. Because of that I don't need this part. But if you are running firewall, if you have installed firewall and then it is running in your client system, you need to allow your HTTP port to function. But for now I don't need this part, but I have simply mentioned for your purpose. If you are using, then you can use this task. And I am using ignore error here because I have just checked firewall is not installed, it is going to fail, but I don't want it to fail my playbook because of this task. Okay, so that is why I mentioned ignore equal to yes. Excellent. So that's what I was supposed to do in this playbook. I hope you understand. Let me just go back, save the file, okay, and try to run the playbook. So let me do a syntax check first. Always do a syntax check before you run your playbook. And looks like some issue in my playbook, line number 29. Okay, let me go to line number 29. And ignore equal to yes is giving an error. Let me specify this over here. Excellent. So let me just check the syntax now, and it looks good. So with regards to syntax, it is fine. Now before I run the playbook, I can do a dry run to see whether the task which I'm planning to do with this playbook is going to successfully run or not. To check that, you can use a flag called "-c" and run your playbook. So currently it is checking whether I would be able to install HTTP package in my 3 system, and it is passed. And now it is currently checking the Jinja file from my FTP servers whether it is able to download it or not, and for some reason it got failed. Okay, and also allow firewall is also failed. That is fine because it is ignoring, like I mentioned already, ignore, and but the concern is destination is http.com request fail FTP error. Okay, I got it. So I'll show you what is the mistake is. I just give a wrong address here. My IP address is for my FTP server IP address is 16.125. And let me do one more thing, because since I do not need this task, it is only just to show you if you are running firewall. So for me it is not required. And also let me just remove ignore error here and save my file, and let me do a rerun again, and that is nothing but a dry run. I'm just checking whether it is going to successful or not. So now I can see it is going all fine, and it is going to make a change on all the 3 system, installing packages, downloading Jinja file, changing the content, and also starting my services. So let me just actually run the playbook now. So I'm just running it, and before that I can also check quickly RPM query HTTP is not installed, and here also it is not installed. Not okay, so it is installed probably because it is already done here, that's why it's showed. Fine, so package is installed, this is also done. My FTP Jinja2 file, it is downloaded, and it was already available. It seems that is why it says okay, and it says the content is created, which is nothing but welcome to Ubuntu Linux, and the 4 tasks, which was nothing but for my start and enable service. So now what I have to do is I have to check my server whether I can able to reach. So my first node is node 1, and I can see welcome to Ubuntu Linux, but it is giving in single line. Okay, I don't want that to happen, so let me do a small change in my content file. Let me go to end of this line, and if I run this one more time, now everything should be okay because everything is done. Only the changes which I have made for my content, for my index.html, that only changed. You can see only this is the part has changed, all are okay. So now if I run a curl node 1, I can see welcome to Ubuntu Linux. So like that in node 2 I can also able to see, and also in my FTP server I should be able to see. And if I go to browser, I already make that available. Let me just do an 58, which is my node 1. I can able to see, and 59, and also 60, which I have showed you already. I'm able to access. Excellent. So this is how you have to write your playbook. Let me know if you have any doubts. Please write them in comment section. I will try to get back to you. Okay, so I hope this video is informative for you. Please subscribe my channel and share with your friends. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
wherever I go, wherever I see, I'll remember you. If you remember